People who try to make money in the stock market use all kinds of information to make predictions. Doctoring the economy. Economists are like doctors who try to determine the health of the economy. They use different measures, such as gross domestic product, growth rates, the unemployment rate, and the inflation rate. These indicators provide useful information when it comes to making good decisions. Unfortunately, unlike doctors, economists cannot cure economic sickness. They can diagnose the problems, but they leave it to us to make our own economic choices. Economists examine the health of the economy. Someone born in 1950 lived without computers for some 30 years, and then witnessed the evolution of laptops and the internet. Later, he or she witnessed the invention of the cell phone and then the development of smartphones. All this technology has drastically changed the way people live. Changes in technology affect the economy on a large scale, which in turn affects how people play the game of economics. What could be coming next? We do not know exactly, but we do know there is something coming. And it will probably be amazing. Humans are always striving to do things better. Developing technology is one way to do this. The advancement of technology leads to greater speed, higher production, and increased efficiency. Many people think of technology as electronic devices such as computers, cell phones, and other wireless tools. These kinds of devices can certainly improve results in many areas. Computers help people work faster by making it easier to find, organize, and reorganize information. Cell phones make it easier to get in touch with others. Some devices can include a calendar, address book, computer, camera, and phone all in one. But technology includes more than just smaller, faster, more powerful electronic devices. Technology is any new advancement in or application of science that improves results. The power of machines. For thousands of years, humans have been inventing things to make their work easier, faster, and more efficient. Many of the things people have invented are machines that use power to replace human or animal effort. You can get from one place to another in a horse-drawn carriage. But the car, once known as the horseless carriage, gets you there much faster. The car improves the ride. The horse-drawn carriage was a technological development a long time ago. It provided an alternative to walking for those who could afford it. With a horse-drawn carriage, people could get to places much faster and with less effort. The car increased that speed and reduced that effort even more. Build a better mousetrap. New technologies are invented every day. In most cases, today's devices are not made to replace human or animal effort. Instead, they are designed to replace older, less powerful machines with newer versions. For example, the telephone replaced the telegram. While the telegram was the fastest way of getting messages from one place to another in its time, the telephone further increased the speed of communications. More recently, cell phones are quickly replacing home phones and other so-called landlines. Home phones make calls fine, but their area of use is limited. Cell phones can go anywhere. This development makes an already powerful technology even more effective. A method to their madness. There is more to technology than just machines. Smaller, faster, more powerful machines lead to improved results. Better results can also be produced by organizing time or energy in new and different ways. Technological improvement can come from introducing a new method. Methods are all over the place, even if you do not realize it. Nearly everything you do follows a method of some sort. How many fingers do you use to type? 2 or 10? That is your method. Do you brush your teeth with a side-to-side or swirling motion? Whichever you use is your method. Some methods can be improved by changing them. These improvements are also technological developments. They improve results and make people's lives better by increasing speed, efficiency, power, and so on. Productivity is up. Producers like to improve efficiency. If they can make goods more easily, more quickly, and with less money, they can increase their profits. Producers are always looking for technological improvements to increase productivity. Machines can help do this. Power tools tighten bolts more quickly than regular wrenches. Electric sewing machines enable faster production of clothing than a needle and thread. Backhoes haul much larger loads of dirt than shovels. These are just a few examples. Machines are used in almost all types of production to make things easier and faster for workers. Sometimes, machines even replace workers entirely, eliminating human effort from the production process. New methods can also increase productivity. One of the most powerful production methods is the assembly line. The assembly line is a simple concept. Instead of having workers move from one production task to another, workers line up and each performs just one task as the product moves down the line. Each worker performs a different task very quickly as products move along. Also, each task uses just one tool, so no one has to put tools down or move to a different position. This eliminates extra motion and increases the speed of production. The assembly line method can be used to do anything that requires several steps, which is just about everything. Prices are down. Improving productivity has major effects on the overall economy. For one thing, increased productivity usually leads to lower prices. According to the law of supply and demand, when supply increases, prices drop. When technology makes production more efficient, there is usually more supply. That brings down the price of those goods. When the price of a good drops, more people can afford to buy the good, so producers make more sales and more profits. The increased demand because of lower prices would normally raise prices again. But greater productivity helps producers meet rising demand with even more supply, so they can keep prices low. Greater productivity brings cheaper goods to more people and wealth to the producer. Producers use some of this wealth to develop even better technologies, further increasing productivity. Increased productivity makes more goods available more cheaply. The ripple effect. Technology increases productivity by making it easier and cheaper to produce goods and services. This lowers prices and brings more goods and services to more people. There is also a ripple effect that occurs when goods and services are widely available. When more people have access to something, it changes how they behave. Think of the cell phone. When very few people had a cell phone, its usefulness was limited. You could usually only reach people at home because few other people had cell phones. However, as cell phones became less expensive, more and more people could buy them. Eventually, cell phone owners could reach more people in more places. That increased the number of calls. Today, most people can be reached no matter where they are. Prices came down, more people got cell phones, and the number of conversations went up. That is the ripple effect in action. Although Ransom E. Olds of Oldsmobile invented the original assembly line, Henry Ford introduced conveyor belts to the design, which greatly sped up production. By 1914, the Ford factory was turning out a new Model T every 93 minutes. Because of the speed of production, the Model T could be made and sold very cheaply. Cars were no longer a luxury. Suddenly, millions of people could afford cars, and it did not take long for most families to have a car. This had a ripple effect on the way people lived. Now that cars were so common, people could live farther from where they worked. This led to the development of suburbs. Instead of living in crowded cities or distant farms, people had both space and access to the city. Ford's assembly line changed the place and the way many people lived. Because of the development of suburbs, more highways were needed for people to get back and forth to work. Soon there were highways connecting different cities all across the country. These highways made it easier to go long distances, and that meant that people could take vacations to faraway places by driving there. The tourism industry became much larger once most Americans had cars. With increases in tourism came more motels and amusement parks and restaurants. The Model T changed America into a car society, and this affected other parts of the American economy. Increases in productivity often have this kind of ripple effect. Make it fast. Distribution is another area that benefits from technological improvements. If productivity is improved, prices go down and more goods are available to consumers. And if goods can be moved around more quickly and inexpensively, the same thing happens.